Hello everyone, this is José Castro, translator, proofreader and copywriter living in Madrid, in Spain. And I bring you in this video some YAP tips to increase your productivity. And today I'm going to talk about searches. So let's see. I guess you know Google is the most used search engine around the world. And many people use Google in a really basic way. So I would like starting recommending this reference here on the bottom of the page, which is a really interesting article called Google Power Search, written by Stephen Spencer. These are some of the highlights from that article, and I will go one by one explaining why these quotes are really important when we are searching for reference or documentation for our translations. First thing is avoid making one-word queries. That is, many people type just one word or two words in the Google search box, and that is the worst way to search for information using Google. Your objective is to write as many words and create the most complex search syntax you can come up with. And if you don't find the results you want, then trim your search syntax, reduce the number of words, try to be less specific, but first try to achieve the best result with the first query. So pay attention to the words you write in the Google search box. You don't need to capitalize because Google doesn't take into account if the words are uppercase or lowercase. Remember too that Google will ignore the really common words. That is prepositions, articles, and nouns. So don't write things like with, the, these, that, because Google will ignore it. And remember, you have a 10-word limit if you are creating a Google query, so you need those words. So drop overly common words. If you're looking for an exact phrase or expression, remember to put quotes around them, because it's not the same to search for. Let me put an example. If I search for José Castro, and I'm ignoring tildes and uppercase letters, I will get 4 million results. But if I search for José Castro with quotes, I will get 100,000, because it's more specific. It will search for my specific name in that order. So remember to use quotes wisely. Remember too that a hyphenated search word will also yield pages with the unhyphenated version, not so with apostrophes. And then remember the word order, the order your words you put in your words. It has to be similar to the order you're looking for. So order is kind of important if you're looking for some expressions. So don't just drop in some words in the Google box. Just try to put it in the same order you're looking for them. This is really important too. I mean, sometimes we search for reference or documentation using Google, and we ignore one of the best things in the history of humankind, which is Google Books. Google Books is not the biggest library online, but it's definitely one of the biggest ones and the most accessible one. Google Books has more than 30 million books digitalized, and many of them can be went through an OCR process, so you can search within the book and even read the pages. So before going to Google to search for reference or documentation, try going to Google Books. Because if you search something in Google, you will find a lot of pages that you don't really care about. Blogs, pages from teenagers, people talking about things you wrote in your Google query. But if you go to Google Books, you have the warranty, you're looking through a library. So the results come from books that they were supposedly through a quality assurance process, and they went through a publishing process and a publishing company. So you have, you have a better warranty that the results are going to be better if you want to curate your search. Let's take, for instance, if I go to Google and I search for, let's say, legal glossary, I will get 145,000 results. But if I go to Google Books, Google Books, you just have to type Google Books and you will find it, Google Books. And I type legal glossary, or legal, sorry, I spelled it wrong. But anyway, Google ignored my typo, and I will get very good results because Google Books is showing me books that add indeed dictionaries or glossaries on legal terms. So it's kind of, Google Books is kind of our personal curator to filter the information we're looking for in the reference, and so we are getting better results and more accurate and more professional. So remember to use Google Books. But going back to Google, curiously enough, if you want to look for help on searching with Google, you won't find it in the Google official help pages. So I strongly recommend you go to googleguide.com because it's, from my opinion, is the best website about advanced Google searches. If you want, you can search for that article called Hacking with Google, and then in this screen you can capture it or you can pause this video. You have the most important search commands you can use with Google. If you learn to use these commands, it will change completely your search and your documentation process. So go ahead, take a look at it, practice, and try to master your searches because they will change completely. You also have some advanced search commands if you are using Google Books. For instance, I can go to Google Books. Here, I'm already here, and I know, let me increase the size. I know that Susan Sontag, so I write the advanced command in author, Sontag, wrote something about notebooks being something related to art. So I write a quote and I put notebook because it's the word I know, asterisk, which means any text, and then the word art, and I close the quotes. This way I'm using Google Books to look for a specific quote by Susan Sontag in one of her books, and the quote has to include the word notebook and art. So I press enter and I find specifically the word written by Susan Sontag where she says this. Here it is. The notebook has become an art form. And she quotes famous writers or philosophers. So I can use this and I can quote the page, I can quote the book, and I'm sure what I'm finding here, it's a really relevant information, and it's really important for my work. So please go ahead and go to Google Guide and try to find the way to use all these commands. As you can see, there are not so many of them. This is about 10, 12. You will spend maybe an hour, and this will change your life, your professional life forever, believe me. And that's all. I hope you like it. See you soon. Bye.